So what do the results of this experiment tell us, if anything? For more on this, let's talk to Terry Crawford. He's CEO of IntialView in Beijing, which provides interview services for students and job seekers. Terry, welcome.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. Your reaction to the findings, certainly as Richard Bestig, our correspondent, said, not scientific, but you could just see how those kids, those British kids, it was a shock to their system to be learning in the Chinese way. Can you make any conclusions here? What's the takeaway here?
Well, I would say that I certainly would agree it's not a scientific study, but it does give us a chance to ask these questions about what is the way that we want to instruct our children. One interesting aspect of this is that my children, I have 3 kids, and they're actually in the Chinese school system. And so some of the methods that were being used in this example, I'm actually pretty familiar with. My own children have actually responded pretty well to the teaching methods. And one example would be, if my oldest son comes home, he's going into 4th grade, and you ask him, where is he ranked in the class in math, or where is he ranked in the class in Chinese, he would know. It's amazing the way this is all public and the way that everyone understands kind of where they stand. And so there is something I think about having these high standards in the classroom that do encourage students to do their best and to really give their best effort.
But what about those who say, the Chinese system may be taking away creative thinking, imagination? We had one person in that report we saw that said the exact same thing.
I actually wouldn't disagree with that. With our company, we interview lots of students in high school, and when you're a high school student in China, you are focused on one thing, and that is the Gaokao. If you're middle class, aspiring to go to college, you need to be studying for the high school, the college entrance exam, and that takes up an amazing amount of time. And it's true that students do really limit their activities, they limit their extracurricular, and I do think that when you're talking about fostering creativity, it is something that works against that. Maybe the bigger question though is when is creativity and critical thinking best encouraged? And maybe for China, the tough question is about their colleges, about what do their colleges do to prepare students for living in today's world. Whereas in the West, generally speaking, colleges are certainly the standard, and of course many people from here want to go to those colleges. In high school, I mean, there is, China, you have to learn thousands of characters if you want to read a newspaper, and there's no easy way to teach that other than memorization and rote learning. So that of course has come to impact the way their educational system is structured.
But Terry,
I would also say too that go ahead.
It's not, some might argue this is not just about preparation for college, but it's preparing youngsters for life. And I guess my question to you is, can we teach youngsters to get the good scores in math and sciences, but still also teach them the ability to ask tough questions and to think outside the box? Why can't we have both?
Well, I mean, there's obviously limited time, but I'm not disagreeing with that. I mean, I certainly, for us, the reason why we're comfortable with our children being in a local school is because they do get lots of time with us, and they do a lot of reading outside the classroom, which we do believe fosters their critical thinking skills. We also think that just as foreigners in the Chinese school system, that's a special situation. I do want to underscore though that there, again, back to this experiment, it's really just an interesting way to talk about how do we educate the people in our society so that they can function in society. Now, China is not the West. China has special considerations that make this type of teaching okay. The West has a lot of resources at its disposal, and we're able to add different parts to the teaching. But still, there needs to be some credit given to the Chinese school system for providing one path for people to focus on their studies, to raise a massive amount of people to middle class, and they should get some credit for that.
No question, and as we've seen, they consistently rank in top levels when it comes to math and sciences. So clearly they are doing something right. Thank you so much, Terry Crawford. We appreciate your time.